6. This is Big Games B.S., part of Dead Media Group, presented by MFCK Foundation. Um, we were having a camp this week, but we're pushing it back to maybe next week. Maybe I'm postponing it for Jacksonville until next go round. But if you would, just jam the like button, check out all these different things. Thank you, my guy. And yeah, that's basically what it is. But we got all those things going on. We'll start off our show with the same. They got an updated version of it. My guy, the Hawaii, the prayer. Oh, really? Yeah, I found. Yeah, somebody sent it to me. But I like this version better. So we're gonna start our show off the same way we start our show off each and every week. Each and every day with a word of prayer.
You already know what time it is, dog. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God. God is great. All the time. All the time. Nobody wanna thank you, God. Thank you, God. Boom, boom, boom.
All right, Jaden, what we got?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another morning edition of Big Games B.S. here on Friday, July 31st. This is your first time at the show. Welcome. And if you're wondering why it's called Big Games B.S., it's because we bring the good, the bad, and the BS of the sports world, especially football, to your screens, eyes, and ears. First things first, we have our MFTK segment to get through. Gonna have some updates for you guys about the annual community give back before getting into some high school news. Before we get into a highly recruited high school players news, we're gonna also finish off or continue with FSU. We have our NCAA segment, and FSU kicks off the segment every time. We're gonna look at our squad, then look at some programs, players, and some legacy acts as well before getting into the NFL. We love to start off the segments with our home team, so the Jaguars are going to kick this one off. We're going to talk about some new deals circulating around the NFL, lack of new deals surrounding the NFL, some quarterbacks, players, and we're going to leave off on some fun. And also, we are going to finish off this show with our Big Games BS section, where we bring the scope of the conversation outside the typical sports world, and we have our BS or busting food review segment for you guys that you should like. But James, I know you said at the start of the show that this would possibly get moved, get postponed in terms of your annual community give back weekend. So just want to repeat that again if we got any new faces in the chat as well who didn't get a chance to hear you beforehand.
Yeah, we're supposed to have our football camp this week, but it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Had a little accident with the truck, so gotta move some things around. But we will definitely have the book bag drive next weekend at Long Branch Elementary School, and that's where we're kind of shifting our gears to. Still about $3,000 short of the overall goal. If you could just send a donation, go to mftkfoundation.com/donate or money sign MFTK36 or any other kind of type of delivery that you can give. We would greatly appreciate it.
Make sure you guys check the link out and obviously check the Cash App and Zelle out on this post right here on James's X account for sure. Please, please, please. The community definitely would appreciate it for sure. And speaking of community, the Miami community is cheesing right now, James, because at 5 p.m. today, A1, aka Amir Sears, is making his decision where he'll be attending school. And according to rivals, according to Mr. Wilfong, Michigan is making a push for five-star cornerback athlete Amir Sears, while Miami remains out front as his decision Sears. James, what do you think Mr. Sears is going, even though your guess is probably what is really gonna happen?
I think A1 made the move because he's going to Miami. I don't think it's Michigan that he'll be going to. But excuse me, but he's definitely a dynamic player. He's a young man who is very prolific, very explosive. Plays both sides of the ball, but obviously probably going to college more so as a DB. But it's going to be very interesting to see Miami get this collection of talent and keep it over the next 3-4 years, because there's going to be another A1. There's going to be other people, but he's also not the last of the guys who are going to reclass. So I just find all of this whole thing interesting. But if I had to make a prediction, I would say to the U.
Amir Sears is committing at 5 p.m. later today, so don't be surprised when your timeline could possibly get flooded with a bunch of Miami content. But just wanted to share that with one of the top players in high school who has a reclass from 2028 to 2027. So just want to keep you guys updated on that. And let's look at the FSU schedule once again, James, because College Football Zone has laid out FSU's schedule with FSU's win probability for those games. So we got it right here, courtesy of College Football on X. And this is our way to kickstart this FSU discussion right here. So the actual account predicted FSU to go 5-7 for your 2026-27 season. And these are based on ESPN's win probability. So that's how they got these numbers right here. But James, let's just start off with the first three schools on this list and work our way down. You got New Mexico State 97%, SMU 49%, and Alabama at 18%. I know you mentioned the SMU game being one of the very important games to start this season to see what the Seminoles have to offer. So what do you think about that 49% and obviously that 18% at SMU and Bama?
I'm curious to what goes into the win probability. Because but SMU is definitely an important, that's the biggest game that Mike Norvell will have. And if you lose that, having Alabama be your next game, you're starting really, really behind the 8 ball. But if you can somehow go 3-1 in that stretch, or even if you go 4-0 in that stretch, going into Virginia, like you're really looking good. You're looking great. Because there's those two back-to-back Miami versus Clemson's, even though there's a bye week in between the two games, that's a treacherous stretch right there. Like that's very difficult to play both of those games, even if one of them's at home and one of them's on the road. But SMU is the first game that you'll play against a top-worthy opponent that you can be able to show that you are the best. So that's why it's very important for Mike Norvell to be able to win that game.
And let's look at the big three. You got Miami at 12% and Florida to round off your regular season at 43% win probability for the Seminoles. James, what you think about those numbers? I know we're going to Miami, so we're going to the Hard Rock Cafe, like you mentioned, and we are playing Florida at home. I was thinking that Florida would be a little bit higher, maybe around that 50% mark, but that's just me. What are your thoughts about those two numbers and those matchups going into this season?
I think 12% is very low. I think but again, I don't know what goes. Excuse me. I don't know what goes into their win percentages and their win totals. So that makes it very, very hard for me to be able to say why it is. On the road, at Hard Rock, it's tough when they are winning. It can be rocking. But we've also seen a Florida State team, and the crazier things have happened. We've seen a 5-7 Florida State team come on the road to a Hard Rock Stadium and absolutely demolished them, mollywopped them. And I think they've shown, but all the talent they have shown the propensity to be able to fold if you jump on them early. And if you go back and you watch the film, there are chances. You just have to be able to take them. But Miami is a more talented team on paper, but I don't know about 12% probability. That's a tad bit disrespectful.
Shout out to Deuce Robinson because he has been getting crazy, crazy love from the preseason polls. And shout out to Deuce because he followed up his 2025 All ACC season with a spot on the 2026 All ACC preseason team. I know first day of camp was on Wednesday, July 29th, and things are getting rolling for the FSC Seminoles. Going to be providing you with some information as camp continues to progress. But James Deuce Robinson has another award under his belt going into this upcoming season. James, what step are you looking for Deuce to take in his game as a wide receiver? Is it blocking? Is it in breaking routes? What is it from your opinion that you hope Deuce to improve on to boost his draft stock even more?
No, he blocks pretty well. We need him to do more than just be a 50-50 ball guy. We need him to be able to show that he can run all the routes. And he's a true number one threat. He talked about that when he came here, and he talked about that on some of the comments on ACC Media Days. Why he came back, they wanted to see him be able to play multiple positions. That increases your draft stock. Even though I probably think he's a second day guy, second round guy, regardless. But if he's able to come in, put up another 1,000-yard season, you see some more explosive plays from him, you may be able to see him become a guy who an NFL team wants to take in the first round.
Definitely. And definitely shout out to Deuce Robinson for getting another preseason award under your belt. And we're going to stay along this topic of preseason, and courtesy of CFB Kings, they reposted the 2026 ACC Media preseason poll. Obviously, no surprise here. You got Miami at number one, and the first place votes are in the parentheses. So you can see Miami got 165 first place votes. You got SMU at 2, Louisville at 3, Clemson at 4, and Georgia Tech at 5. You can see FSU got 3 first place votes, and Stanford got 1 first place vote. But let's finish up this list. Then Virginia, NC State, Virginia Tech, Pitt, Duke, FSU at 11. Cal, Wake Forest, Syracuse, UNC, and Boston College, and finally Stanford to round out your ACC preseason poll for the 2026 season. So this is the media predicted order of finish. I just want to add that as well. And the numbers in the parentheses are the number of first place votes. James, how easy do you think Miami's path to the ACC championship or being the representatives of the ACC do they have with their schedule? Because they've been number one on a lot of these lists going into this next season.
It's the easiest schedule every year, but they're going to figure out how to lose to somebody. That's what they're good at. They'll be a double-digit win team, but they're going to lose 2 games that make absolutely no sense. Like they've done that every year under Mario. Shit, it could be. I didn't realize they play Clemson and Florida State back to back too. But that 3-game stretch they have, Clemson, Florida State, and Pitt, even though they have a bye between Florida State and Clemson, that's a stretch. Notre Dame doesn't count against them, but that's a game I can see them losing. Virginia Tech. I mean, Franklin is a good coach. They were losing to Virginia Tech or having battles with Virginia Tech with a lesser coach. So it's some things where I definitely see them. They should be able to whoop Stanford. They should be able to whoop FAMU. They're beating Wake Forest, whooping Central Michigan, and then that inflated sense of ego that comes from playing those first 4 games and then having to place a team with Clemson that is going to have NFL caliber players that are just like you is really what you want to see what happens the first time you actually get punched in the mouth.
Now we're going to move on from FSU to some valuable college programs, and not just any valuable college programs, the top college football programs by 2026 valuation. No surprise there on this list, guys. So let's look at what On3 had to report, and this is via The Athletic. So Texas coming in at number 1 with a value of $2.46 billion. Ohio State, $2.3 billion. Notre Dame, 2.1, and Michigan, 2. Georgia and Alabama, 1.95 and 1.8. Oklahoma and USC are tied at 1.6. Tennessee, 1.57, and Penn State at 1.4 billion. James, any surprising schools on this list that's catching your eye, or any surprising schools that didn't make the cut, like a Texas Tech, for example, with a lot of that oil money in their school's history?
Again, it's just something that we don't know why they're saying something makes something valuable. If it's just the overall program, then it doesn't matter. That oil money doesn't have to do with the effect of merchandising, ticket sales, facilities, all of those different things. And I think that's what they're doing with the evaluations. But these are some things that I really believe that, again, it's an easy way to make college football and the current trend sustainable. Imagine if you went to Oprah or Jay-Z and said, "Hey, for $2.4 billion, you can have Texas, the likeness." And now all of a sudden, you have a true valuation. You can get a true check, and then those guys can either go make money off of it or create their own little mini sports leagues. And that's what I think probably needs to happen. I've been preaching that from the beginning. Since college, actually, probably not just their own. Not like they need to be an NFL. What do you call it? NFL minor league.
We talked about Ohio State being number 2 on this list with a value of $2.3 billion, and one of the most star-studded players to come out of Ohio State to play in that Ohio State system. Ohio State wide receiver Jeremiah Smith reveals Bama, James, was his dream school growing up. Growing up, my dream school was Alabama when Nick Saban was there, but they wasn't recruiting me. Dang, I was super surprised to hear this on my timeline. What do you have to think about this, James, and recruiting, especially for Mr. Smith, because he could have went anywhere?
I mean, he says that. And maybe they just didn't want to give him the same money or the same opportunities, but I just don't believe that. I have the damnedest time believing that nobody was recruiting Jeremiah Smith. I don't know. It sounds good. Maybe that's what he was told. Logically, it doesn't make sense. Everybody was recruiting Jeremiah Smith, even the teams that had absolutely no fucking chance in hell to get him. Florida State's been recruiting Jeremiah Smith since forever, and they were trying to get him out of the portal. They were trying to do all of these different things. Man, it's a wild set of circumstances to hear that.
We want to give a huge shout out to Notre Dame and SoFi, because Notre Dame has partnered with SoFi as its official jersey patch sponsor. So the 6-year deal with SoFi is expected to be the most valuable jersey sponsorship deal in college athletics history, with an average of $18 to $20 million annually for Notre Dame. So huge shout out to Notre Dame and SoFi on getting the most valuable jersey sponsorship deal in college athletics history. Whew, James, 18 to 20 million annually. That's some money coming in.
That's making things happen. That's a lot. That's a lot for your NIL. Again, this isn't sustainable, but they find ways to sustain it. It just seems like the people who bitch and complain about it but not being sustainable are the people who just want to bitch and complain and don't want to pay the college athletes. 18 to 20 million. Like, there's somebody who's paying $10 million to put a patch on Florida State. So you can go be creative with the ways that you get these guys paid. It's just you don't want to, or you want to cry about things that you just don't need to cry about.
There's no like the NBA is going through all the cap circumvention. There's no way you can do that with NIL, right? You can always have an amount. There's no limit.
Man, there's no limit. But I mean, market dictates itself. Nobody's paying like so. You have let's say NFL. You have was it, I think the salary cap is at $500 million right now, or close to $500 million. So you know you're not going anywhere near close to the NFL.
But why not? Why not? If you're a billionaire, why not?
Well, because I just think there's a law of diminishing returns. I personally think that nobody, and I'm not saying this to say it'll be anti-white or against white people. Like it would be against the history of white people. And I'm only saying that because the top 1%, we can all agree, is mostly white, right? In America, like does anybody not understand that most billionaires are white? It's not all, just most. Or even most multimillionaires are white. It would be against the history of what we've known America to be that chivalrous. To create that many, like, because that's a lot of money to like, they'll do it to a certain extent to see their team win.
That's what I mean.
But they're not going to do it to where, like, you know, there's a better use of money to help you win than just buying that many players. But like, because the goal is still to get to the NFL. But I think something will come in. The NFL will interject before it gets to $500 million.
Yeah, somebody's gonna put a stop to that.
And it would be something that would be still fair and from a business practice. But the NFL has and all pro sports have players unions that they have negotiated these deals and these contracts. That is the thing that has been lost amongst most people currently, is that they just haven't negotiated. They've been doing all of these things and have not talked to the players yet.
Right.
And so no matter what they produce, it's not going to work because you still have to talk to the players.
Speaking of players, we have a crazy wild story coming from an SEC squad. So we're going to be discussing the Tennessee linebacker Arion Carter, because the NCAA has suspended Carter for 2 games for a $427 flight to an NFL pre-draft training facility. So we got some more news on this courtesy of ESPN that I'm going to read for you guys right now. So the NCAA did suspend Carter for the first 2 games of the season for accepting $427 flight from an agent after he declared for the draft. Carter, a senior from Smyrna, Tennessee, played through a foot injury late in the 2025 season. After declaring for the draft, he aggravated the injury and needed surgery, and ultimately decided to return to Tennessee for another season. In a statement, Volunteers coach Josh Hoople said Carter disengaged from the agent and repaid him for the flight in January. The Tennessee source told ESPN that the NCAA originally suspended Carter 3 games, but the Volunteers appealed the penalty, which was reduced to 2 games. The NCAA rules are clear. Student athletes may not sign with agents to pursue NFL draft opportunities, and the student athlete knowingly violated those long-standing rules, the NCAA said in the statement. When student athletes violate the NCAA rules, the school declares them ineligible and works with the national office to determine requirements for reinstatement, which can include repayment and or withholding from competition. According to sources, Tennessee self-reported the level 3 violation in February, and the NCAA enforcement staff took no further action. Carter will miss the Volunteers opener against FCS program Furman at home on September 5th and September 12th road game at Georgia Tech. He will be eligible to return on September 19th against Kennesaw State. And this is what they had to say, the head coach at Tennessee, about Carter. Carter represents everything that is right about college athletics, dedicating all 4 years of his career to the University of Tennessee. His character, loyalty, and leadership with our program are unmatched, and we disagree with the NCAA's ruling on punishing Arian Carter. So Carter had 76 tackles with 1.5 sacks and 1 fumble recovery last season.
Oh, so he's a pretty good football player. I just think this is $427 in the grand scheme of all these different things. Like, that's on him for talking too much. I would have just said I paid for it. But this is why kids don't tell the truth. When people be like, why don't they do, like, this is exactly why. Telling the truth got this kid exactly what? Suspended for 2 games. Luckily, it's 2 games that they should be able to win if they're the big bad SEC. But I like the kid, but I want Georgia Tech to beat Tennessee. So this is good.
We have a "Do you feel the old yet" moment right here as we progress further into the show. So we talked about his father not too long ago when we played that Guess the NFL Player. And guys, do y'all feel old yet? Because LeGarrette Blount Jr. names Oregon and Ohio State as the 2 schools standing out in his recruitment. His pops did go to Oregon. If you know, you know, got a strong hand for sure. But James, we got LeGarrette Blount Jr. going down to 2 schools, Oregon and Ohio State, 2 Big Ten squads. So, man, do we feel old yet? Because I just remember watching his dad play in the NFL not too long ago. So definitely crazy.
I'm just grateful. I hope to have these articles written about me in a few years.
It's crazy. LeGarrette Blount to me was known as one of the black.
Yep.
Kid is so light skinned.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to guess.
Yeah. What position does he play?
I don't know.
He's a DB.
Oh wow! I always wonder about that when, like, for you as a father, when you training a son who plays a position so far different from yours, it's like, I gave you the body of a running back, and you want to play DB. Does that?
Nah, I actually want them because running backs, like, they're starting to trend back. But like, you have to have certain measurables to play certain positions. And there's only one ball, right? So defense, think about it like this. Defense, you have 11, there's 11 people, right? And let's say you run 30 plays. You have 30 plays to make the best play. Offense, there's only one ball. Nobody's going to recognize that you did your job. So if you bat a ball down, if you shut a guy down in coverage, people are going to be able to see you at DB. Running back, you have 10 opportunities in high school. In a high school game, you have 10 opportunities to be able to showcase your ability to run the ball. And a lot of other variables have to go into that. You have to have a pretty decent offensive line. And it's just a lot. But, I want my son just having fun. So I want to get paid. So, like, running backs aren't getting paid until recently. Cornerbacks, safeties are. Wide receivers are. So, like, you want to be able to put your kid in the best position. And I think that's where he's kind of looking at. Facts.
Huge shout out to LeGarrette Blount Jr. And yeah, he is a DB wide receiver. Just checked his Twitter bio. So he's looking to probably stay at that defensive back position once he goes into college. But he is down to 2 Big Ten squads. So shout out to his pops. I know he's happy for sure. So shout out to the lineage and shout out to the Jaguars. We are kicking off the NFL segment on this Friday with a quick video from our very own head coach, Liam Cohen. So he was recently in an interview and mentioned how it's easy for the Jaguars to motivate their players because the media does not cover them like they should. So we got a video of Liam Cohen going deeper into this conversation, and I'm just going to share the screen with you guys so you can hear it and see it as well for you. And this is from Ari Merov's X account. So enjoy this video of Duval's coach, Liam Cohen.
He's lost weight.
Yeah.
The staff the other day was, I go, guys, this is the best part of coaching the Jacksonville Jaguars. You don't have to make up telling your players stuff. You don't have to make up the fire. You don't have to make it up. It's given to us every day.
Yeah.
And it's like a welcome. It's a gift from the heavens. From the, you just scroll. I just go pull up my phone, look at the NFL Network website, and just pop up here. And
Any column.
Curious if I see any photos or anything about the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think I'll just scroll right on through.
You keep going, yeah.
I think I'll see 40 pictures of Caleb Williams, and I won't see a single thing about any of our players on here. And so it's beautiful because it's like, yeah, guys, this is great. Thanks.
The gift that keeps on giving.
I'm going to tell all these guys how much you all think they suck.
Yeah.
And we'll just keep going.
Yeah. Well, and what
I love that.
That was good.
We can do that. I can fake laugh with the best of them.
Yeah. One, that's the show. Jay, just so you know, that's the show. Those are the ops, by the way.
Oh, good. Because
those are the ones who just completely tried to crush. Boy, you remember when Bryson didn't want to interview?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the crew with 1010, the old timers brunch.
Masterclass on big laughing.
Yeah, that was
like
But Liam's telling the truth though. Like,
yeah,
it's not just that you don't have anything or when it's supposed, it's like, why are the Jags the worst team in the NFL? Or it's something crazy, and it's something that's based upon historical data that has absolutely nothing to do with what we have currently seen.
You want to make a funny meme, use the Jag stat.
Yeah, like we're the low hanging fruit. Like we are the easiest team to pick on. But because also people don't like Jacksonville. Like it's a city that had its chance to be able to put itself on the map with the Super Bowl, right? And we just were not prepared for the Super Bowl. And nobody's forgotten that. And they don't understand how great of a city this is. There's also traditionally when the NFL has talked about it, it's been about we're the only city because our owner is a foreigner that doesn't mind playing overseas. So that channeled in for 15 years of the Jags are going to London, Jags are going to London, Jags are going to London, even though every decision completely shies in the face of it. We had Jason Lockett fuckboy saying things like we're going to fire our coach and then hire another coach if that coach feels like it, depending upon if it's a 75% chance to rank. Like just there's no the consistency of just articles for the fun of it. And then our media is such a unique space of it's a city that thrives in local media, unlike any other city. Like Miles, if you watch Boston, if you listen to Boston sports talk, because Boston is a bigger city too, and you have the big three, you have NBA, hockey, NFL. Well, my bad, 4. You have baseball as well. You can send, but you don't really have any good colleges around.
No.
It's not a hotbed for recruiting in anything.
No.
So you talk about your national sports leagues. So it breeds a national product.
Right. It's a famous sports.
Yeah, it's a famous sports town. So like Miami, same thing. Even though they do have a big a really good prominent college team, they do have a hotbed, but it's a commuter city. People come from all over. Like I came from New York, so I want to listen to New York radio. I listen to it. So even your style of local radio has to be like Boston, New York, Philly, all of those different places.
Correct.
Jacksonville don't give a fuck about nobody but Jacksonville.
That is true.
Having done sports talk radio, they do like you. They want to hear about Florida. They want to hear about Florida State. There's enough Georgia fans here that they want to hear about Georgia. Sprinkle of Miami here. But if you don't talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars, ain't nobody going to listen to your show on 1010. If you look at our sports media, like on the TV side, we're always talking about the Jaguars, even during the downtime. But there's nothing to really talk about. And it's not the NFL. I can talk about so in Boston, I can 25% of the year, I can talk about a sport, and then I can like have some crossover, and those sports teams win. But even then, I can talk about the offseason. I can talk about, but they don't want to hear about the fucking Texans here.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear about the Colts. They don't want to hear about the Titans. They want to hear about what Trevor's doing.
And there's no NBA team.
None. So. You can try to force feed the Magic down our throats, but they don't want to hear that.
Yeah, they don't.
And this ain't the Magic. Ain't that good. They're okay. Florida State went on a run and nobody wanted to hear about it. Miami went on a run and barely was covered. Yeah. If Florida goes on a run, you'll hear it. But like Georgia's been really good. Like they went 40 years without winning the championship. Finally won one, and that's still not even a program that people want to dominate the tops. It's just a very unique city. You know, that's just how it goes. But like it's fun and it's funny. But I do believe we it's why two old white men could dominate.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, can I be real? That stuff pisses me off. It's not entertaining. Every stat that they can give you is Googleable. Mm-hmm. There's no personality, and they're gonna get all the hits because it's just the biggest.
Because they're the biggest dog. But I'll say that this show is well produced.
Is it?
It's a well produced show. But it's heavy. It's not. You're not listening to that. That's the morning drive.
I'm never gonna hear anything I don't expect.
No, you're not. It's gonna be like, yeah, that's very fair. That's fair. Me and Liam having that conversation is way more genuine.
Right. And you will surprise some people. I just don't. That's whatever, bro.
But like they've been here the longest. They have a well-produced show. They were on TV. One thing that people haven't realized, again, people can hate Jay-Z all they want. Jay-Z grows with his audience, but picks up a new audience as he's growing. Like have you seen all the numbers from when he did the concert?
Right, and
like everybody's gone back, and all the young kids are going back and listening to Reasonable Doubt and all these other things. And
we tried to tell them. 22 twos.
Yeah, but they didn't want to hear it, and they're like, damn, this old man's pretty good. Now they're realizing he's rapping about shit that they'll never possibly ever be able to afford. Again, Jay-Z's stick is not. Jay-Z's stick is I'm better than you. Like when not Mufasa. What's that? Damn, it's a really good rapper. I can't think of his name. But when he put that, he was on the guy who basically took Tax Tone's entire the battle rapper. I feel like he took Tax Tone's entire style and aura. But like that's a guy who's understands it. Like Dan 1010 doesn't care. They literally want to dominate the middle-aged white man, older white. That they're going for that 40 to 60 demographic.
It's so starch.
And it's not you can't add seasoning. Seasoning upsets stomachs. Like you had too much sazon. They're turning it off. They're going to conservative talk radio.
I respect the hard work. It's just not for me.
Nah, I couldn't listen to I'm trying to think. I don't listen to any of them anymore. The Lunch Bunch used to be pretty, but then Mia left.
If JJ had his own show, I'd listen every week.
JJ is good, but JJ gets into that concern. JJ gets into that world, but JJ's like I told him, you're a white guy who's not winning, and that's what makes you mad. But that's his stick. but that's just
an interesting thing.
But that's just thick, and I love it, and I love it for him. I'm like, I get why I would be mad if I were you too. Your brother's good, but like you're like, like he talks about it, and it's just like,
yeah, play on that more. It's funny.
Like, yeah, like they don't have they're not building characters,
right,
and that's what makes good radio. Because when it's boring, you can always lean into who the people are. Like RJ was hilarious to me because that's why we called him Blacker, the black hacker. Like you wouldn't even notice the difference. But I'll never forgive RJ for, hey man, he's like, I just like a well-made chicken wing. What the fuck is a well-made chicken wing? Like, what is your favorite wing? He had all the flavors to pick from.
It was his first day being black.
Yeah, and he said barbecue. I said, bro, you are going to a wing place and just deliberately ordering barbecue wings? Not barbecued at a barbecue either. Like he's going to Wingstop and ordering barbecue. Like, brother, it's some like no, we needed to hang around you, man. You gotta get you more black, man. But yeah, so JJ doesn't have a show. He's a producer, but we incorporated JJ. We made the because that's what the major shows were doing. It's still interesting. Make the producer a part of the show.
They all do it.
Like even Dan and Jeff, they got ET. ET can like ET can add some season into a show.
Of course, the Lebertard show does it.
Mm-hmm.
What's that bald head guy with the glasses everyone loves on ESPN? He looks like a pinball or a bowling pin.
The Feinbaum?
He looks like Feinbaum, but cool. He's a cool guy that everyone likes.
Oh, I'm about to say
Scott Van Pelt.
Scott Van Pelt.
Oh yeah, SVP. Yeah.
Part of the show. I mean, it's fun. People like to see people having fun conversations.
Yeah.
Speaking of fun, James, appreciate the Jaguars dialogue and a good segue into this Jaguars. Guess the Jaguar, guess the player. This one is kind of a difficult one. Not gonna lie, gonna have to put your thinking cap on for this one. Show you who a real Jaguar fans are, because this one can be a little tough because we got this player played Kansas City 08 to 2016, the Broncos, and then finishing off his career as a Jaguar. Chat, spam it up in the chat as well with your guesses on this Jaguar player. So let's guess this NFL player.
I don't have no idea. That's the only one but I don't know. I was still with me young covering the Jags. Like I would talk about the Jags, but I wasn't like, I think 18 is when I first started going. Well, no, 16, 17 is when I was doing stuff, but like 18 is really when I first started doing more with First Coast News. I got nothing, brother. This is going to be something crazy, I believe. It's going to be somebody it's going to be a name that we all like, but just, you know how guys like get snuck on rosters? Like does anybody really remember Jerry Rice as a Raider?
That's true.
It's gonna be one of them. I just got a feeling.
I'm not seeing anything from the chat either. This is quite a hard one. I would definitely put the level to hard on this one, but everybody knows this name. But
no way. This is definitely hard.
But many forgot this player was a Jag or even a Bronco. This is Jamal Charles, the running back.
Jamal Charles?
Yes, Jamal Charles. Yep.
We had him and Ronco Lenny at the same time. I don't remember this one now. That's crazy.
He only played 2 games for the Jaguars, in his season. You can see it at the bottom right there. But for the Broncos, he played 14 games in 2017 and had 69 carries. But yeah, that was definitely a difficult one to do. So yeah, I completely forgot.
He went down. Like if you go back to the stats, Jaden, like he went from 1,000 to like in 2014 to 364 and 4. Like ugh, like it got bad quick.
Definitely precipitous for sure. I mean, you can see he got injured 2011, played 14 less games and upped it back up. And then 2014, 2015 played 10 less games. So that definitely does not help. Playing 3 games the next year. Yeah. But did definitely forget he was a Jaguar. I had to question my fandom after that one because I was really stumped. So shout out to Sleeper Jaguars for doing this one, but lying, saying that the level was medium. It definitely was not medium. Definitely was not. James, I don't know if we discuss Denzel Ward, but he has got some chicken because he is now the highest paid DB in NFL history. So huge shout out to Mr. Ward on the Browns. So the 5-time Pro Bowler Denzel Ward and the Browns have reached an agreement on a 2-year, $62.2 million deal. That is 52.3 million guaranteed. And this makes him the highest paid DB in NFL history for the second time in his career. Tory Dandy of Athletes First and the Browns put the finishing touches on the deal today before their training camp practices began. This post was on July 28th as well. So huge shout out to Denzel Ward. He is our Money Moves segment winner of the day for becoming the highest paid DB in NFL history twice in his career. That's definitely fire.
That's a put that on his tombstone. See why you want to play DB?
Twice in his career, you're done, bro. You win.
Yeah, that's crazy. And he's with the Browns. So he's not even doing it. He's doing it. It's not even for the love. It's all for the money. It's all for the money, man. Like, he's like, man, fuck these. You want me to be in this bum ass town of Cleveland? You better pay me. So the factory of sadness. You gotta pay. You gotta pay me. Like he's a living meme. Like there's like, would you stay in this haunted house with no cable? No Wi-Fi for $1 million, for $2 million, and he's like, "Yes, I've done it my entire NFL career, knowing that his career is gonna be over. Like after, all you gotta do is get to New Year's, and you got a ton of time to just chill with the family and make bread. I love it for him." Mm-hmm.
So here are the highest paid cornerbacks in the NFL on a per year basis as of now with this new contract. So Denzel Ward leads the way with 31.1 million. So how they take these is they do the years and they divide that by the they take the contract number with the incentives. So usually the bigger number, the non-guaranteed number, in this case 62.2, and divided that by the number of years. That's how they got the 31.1. So they actually don't calculate the average with the guaranteed money. They do the money with bonuses and incentives. Trent McDuffie, 31, who's now a LA Ram. Sauce Gardner on the Colts. Derek Stingley, 30 million. JC Horn, 25 mil. So shout out to DBs, James, because 25.
This is a dude who should be arrested for robbery.
For sure.
He hasn't been worth that much. He's young though. He is young.
He is young. He is young. And speaking of young, James, huge shout out to the Saints young wide receiver Chris Olave, because he got a new deal as well. So he signed a 4-year extension worth up to $132 million, including $90 million guaranteed. So that's an average value of 33 million per year, but 90 million guaranteed. So James, them Ohio State boys got they chicken up. So look at the OSU wide receiver contracts over the last two off seasons. JSN 4 years 168.6, Chris Olave 132, Garrett Wilson 4 years 130, and Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry 3 years 97 million. So we know OSU is going to be putting up these stats in their recruiting visits for sure, because whoo, pretty pennies.
Can buy a lot of beignets with that money that he just got.
That is a lot. James, what would you be doing back in New Orleans with that Chris Olave extension, Beignet Central, and char-grilled oysters?
Definitely getting some char-grilled oysters as a 1,000 of them as an appetizer, some etouffee, melatonin, like a whole bunch of stuff, man. Just eating, living our best lives.
Shout out to Chris Olave. Shout out to OSU showing you guys the real wide receiver you in the NFL. Take a look at those contracts. Crazy, crazy, crazy numbers coming from Columbus, Ohio. And James, we got a crazy story because you always say it's get your girl back season, and the 49ers and John Lynch heard you out because Debo is coming back. Debo is coming back to the 49ers, sources say, and he is getting a 1-year deal up to $7 million, done by Athletes First once again. But I guess with the Brendan Ayuk situation, James, they had to pick up Debo off of that free agency and got him for a deal worth up to $7 million. So I'm guessing around 4 to 5 guaranteed. I'm not too sure what the details are, but how do you think he will pan out back in San Francisco?
I mean, they need a guy. They built him. So like they know how to use him. They know what to do. It's ironic because like when he left, that's when he's better than the fullback, but that's when they got him a little bit more involved in it. But Debo is a guy who's a utility player, and they can definitely use a guy who can move the chains and make defense have to scheme up something different. So he still got some tread on that tire, and I think it was a smart move by them.
49ers also a little bit shaky on Ricky Pearsall with his injury proneness, and they did get Mike Evans as well, another wide receiver. If I'm not mistaken, they did take the Ole Miss wide receiver in this year's draft, Stribling, if I'm saying his name properly, Dejon Stribling. Yep, so they got him as well. So trying to just add around that wide receiver room in San Francisco. So shout out to Debo and going back to the Bay. And speaking of the Bay, James, there's a lot of drama in Tampa Bay. So Baker expressed his disappointment, and he felt he was disrespected and undervalued by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because contract talks have been happening for Baker Mayfield. Got this post right here from Ari Meroff. So the Bucks and Baker are expected to end the contract extension talks, and the plan now is for Mayfield to play the season on the final year of his contract, and he is scheduled to become a free agent in March. James, Baker and Tampa talked, and they offered him a 2-year deal in which he felt like he was disrespected because he's hoping for that $50 million year contract, because he said he feels like he thinks he's the franchise quarterback for the Bucks. So I want to ask you personally, because you've seen Baker, you've covered the NFL, you've seen his decline, his ups and downs, and do you really believe that he should have gotten that $50 million contract because he is Tampa Bay's franchise quarterback?
Can we put a comparison of the guys who have actually gotten it? I think Baker is a top 15 quarterback. And that might be disrespectful. I'm not trying to disrespect him. going off the top of my dome right now. I'm looking up his stats right now. Here's why I wouldn't pay him. But he can make a case, right? But here's why I wouldn't pay him $50 million. And some of this isn't all Baker's fault. So Baker will be 32 years old going into next season, right? 23 and 24 were Baker's years where he was really hopping, right? 25, he had almost a decline in 1,000 yards. He had a decline in 1,000 yards and 15 touchdowns. We know what happened. You know what happened to him? I'm not even going that far. His OC is in the Jacks. Sometimes there's a fit. So Cleveland, if you're a starting NFL quarterback, I got news for you. 3,000 you should be able to throw for over 3,000 yards if you start every game, right? So Cleveland, he was the starter. He went to LA, wasn't the starter. Went to Carolina, wasn't the starter, but was got some heat. Went to Tampa Bay with Liam, and Liam in the running game got those guys kind of under a situation where they were moving forward. So like they believe in you, they want to pay you, but like, what if they believe in other free agent, like a younger free agent? What if they can get for less than $50 million? Because if you can spend less money and pay the surrounding cast, you can prop up a quarterback. And I think that's where he's missing it. He's damn, I hate using these analogies, but one of the things I love to do is try to make people not put sports athletes on a pedestal, but like give you a true look of what in a like a reality. 31 in the NFL is like, outside of Tom Brady and a few other guys, that's how do you say it's like 40. No, that's not I want to say that's like a 45-year-old single mother with how many teams does he play for? He's played for Cleveland. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so he's on his fourth child. So you're threatening somebody to get more than 50-50. You want him to pay all your bills, but you're a single mother and you got four children, and you're 45 years old. The market ain't what you think it is. It's not saying you can't be happy. It's not saying that somebody can't do anything for you, but the market ain't what you think it is. So they're going to tell him, flourish, queen, test the market. And I think he can find happiness. But what NFL teams need a quarterback?
Wow, James, it looks like you read the show notes because
okay.
Which teams need a quarterback? So let's start from the top and work our way down and go back right into that conversation you were having. Let's take a look at the first row right here. Yes, we really do. You got the Cardinals with the Jacoby Brissett and excuse me, Jacksonville's own Mandarin UQB Carson Beck, the Jets, and the Dolphins. Yes, once our QB retires, Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers, and LA Rams and Matt Stafford not showing a lot of love to Ty Young, their first round draft pick this year. To be determined, the Colts, Saints, Panthers, Browns, Vikings, Titans, Raiders, and Falcons. I think that's a pretty solid list. No, not if you pay me. Baker got his own category, and the rest of the squads below got our guy. So definitely see that.
Half the league. So half of the eligible men, well, half of men don't want you. So that's out there. You're in a relationship and you're mad, right? Let's go all the way to the top. The Cardinals are not going to, they're either going to address it in the draft next year, or they're going to see what they get with Carson Beck now. So they got them a young, they went to the Build-A-Bitch workshop in the Dominican Republic with Carson. They figured out they put a BBL on it and some other things, they might be able to be good. The Jets, I ain't got nothing for you for that, but I know a coach is going to get fired more than likely, and they have to ask themselves, do I want to attach myself to? It could happen for you. It could be a Drew Brees type situation for you in New York. Very difficult. The Dolphins, I think they just put a lot of money into Malik. Yeah, so they believe what they could get with Malik. Again, younger quarterback. The Steelers, I don't know what the Steelers are doing, but like I those two franchises, maybe those are the pie in the sky dreams. But even then, you know what they don't pay? You know what the Steelers aren't paying? $50 million for Aaron Rodgers. And the Rams aren't going to pay you $50 million. Hell, they've seen that this group saw you when you were younger and turned and played with you and left you at the altar. Colts, I don't know. Because the other side of it is, so you have 1, 2. Panthers aren't going to be in the Panthers, and the Browns aren't going to be in the market anytime soon. Vikings, I doubt it. Titans aren't. They just drafted a guy, so they won't be in the market next year. Titans, this is crazy. The Falcons, Raiders, and the Titans, you could cross them off the board. They just drafted guys. Yeah. The petite, pretty princess ain't going nowhere. And they'll give, if they bring in Baker, that you left the Browns. You're not going back to that organization. So we've literally narrowed it down to 1, 2. I'm gonna give you the Vikings and the Steelers and the Jets. So we brought it down to what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bro, your agents should slap the shit out of you. Take the money, because unless like something happens, you got 5 teams that you're narrowing this down to. The Vikings, they got the they got a younger version of you in Kyler Murray. I mean, I believe he's just younger.
Yeah, and cheaper. So, it is business.
That's at the end of the day. That's what it all is.
Sorry to Quick Blitz, to Sheena, to Vashti, and to any other Panthers fans, because, man, that young talent has not been durable. So not even a week into camp, and the Panthers have lost 2 exciting youth players to injury for the season, wide receiver Chris Brazzell and edge Nick Scorton. So the Panthers rookie will undergo season-ending surgery on his torn LCL. He injured it during Wednesday's practice. Man, always tough for a new team and new players to lose 2 young guys like that. Man,
you know what it is, man. I'm telling you, dog. They're changing the food chart, like the recommended food pyramid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but a lot of people were already making these changes, man. And I'm gonna tell you what it is. They were all this drinking nut juice. Stop drinking almonds milk. Almonds milk. Stop drinking that shit. Drink some red cap whole milk. Stop looking at what it's supposed to do and all this other things, and just drink it. Like, this is crazy. Like, people like right now it's a debate because of Fauci and doing all this other stuff. Like, somebody brought up a good point. Like, you worry about the COVID vaccine, but y'all all taking GLP-1s. Don't know what the fuck is in that. But like, okay, maybe milk has pus in it. Maybe it isn't milk it's only made for babies. You know what? Strengthens your bones. Like I told people, I know all the things. You know why my sons drink milk? Because I want them to be football players. And clearly everybody else is drinking milk. I'm not finna put my sons out there and their bodies look small. So, but nah, that's unfortunate for those young men. But the fortunate thing is you get paid when you're on IR regardless. So hopefully they get healthy. I can't wait to see. I'm gonna try to see if we can't do a quick blitz. Out at I know they're gonna do one, but I want to jump on and join quick blitz. So that when they come here for the practice, I got my credentials. I don't even know when it is though. I just got a whole bunch of emails yesterday for my season credentials. I didn't even know I needed extra credentials for the joint practices, but I do have those. I'm trying to see where it is. I got them, but yeah, no, I can't wait for that.
Plaxico Burris compared playing with the Jets to prison, according to Underdog. He said they're both kind of similar because when I walked into prison on my first day, I was like, man, you're a loser. And I had the same feeling every day I walked through the door with the Jets.
That's wild. You know, a lot of times people be like, you shouldn't say that because, you wouldn't know. But he would know, right? Like, if anybody knows, it would be Plaxico. A lot of times, like, it's just like war. You can't compare this to war. You can't compare this to that. No, I've been locked up, dog. When I heard that, like when I heard the door slam, it sounded the same as when the door slam when I came into the Jets facilities. It was the same exact thing. The chow was the same. It's all men. Yep. Yeah. There was it's wild. So I'm gonna give a wild statement, and I actually made this because I've been, I went to youth camp when I was a kid, when I was 12. I didn't like do hard time, but I did some reckless things in my life. So I spent a couple. I got to spend my 12th birthday not around friends and family, but we I told people when I went to Florida State, it was like Oz, except for no male rape. But like I saw violence, I saw fighting. There was segregated. There was different cars. Like that's what they call the units. You had the defensive car, you had the offensive car. And in the cars, there was more segregation. You had the offensive linemen, which were mostly white people, doing dip. So you had your redneck car. And you had your redneck section, you had your black section. The only thing we didn't have was Hispanics because just for whatever reason, it doesn't seem like they play football, not football. But it was crazy. Like when you sit back and you think about it, like you have to fight. One of the things that I listen to you don't have to win, but you have to show that you're not a punk. And that is true for football, but I don't think that's what Plaxico was referring to. I think Plaxico was referring to the fact that it's the fucking depressing being on the New York Jets.
According to AP and Adam Schefter, 2 court appearances scheduled for the 27-year-old son of Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy in connection with the shooting of his mother at their Virginia home have been delayed pending a mental health evaluation. Man, it was a sad story coming from the Bieniemy family and just super, super tragic. Anybody has to go through that. And for anybody keeping up with this case, the court appearances have been delayed because of a pending mental health eval.
My mother said some silly shit to me one time, but I believe her. I don't think it was silly, but like, I don't care what you do, I'm gonna still love you. Like you can shoot me and I'm still gonna love you. She said that shit to me. I have zero intentions of ever shooting my mother. But this sounds like one of those cases. Like they love the boy. They want him to get help. But I'm sorry. If you shoot me, man, hey. You shot the person that you came out of. Like she went through pain twice for you. Like, nah, dog. Nah, B. You gotta go sat down somewhere for a little bit, dog. I don't want you to be comfortable. You ain't getting no commissary from me. But yeah, that's still a wild story, man. He looks like, when you see the face and all that other stuff, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, he looks like a biter for sure. So It was scary,
Yeah.
man. Definitely. Just sorry to hear the tragic news from the Bieniemy family, man. Such a horrible situation. Nobody should have to go through, especially with it being your own son. Just such a wild story, and waiting to see more details unfold about the situation and the context behind the situation, of course, as we progress through this trial. We got another guess the NFL because we didn't want to leave off on this NFL segment with too much of a sad story. So we got another guess the, but this time it's a team, not a player, and this time it's guess this NFL defense based on where they played in college.
I'm trying to what I found out how to do is look for the outlier and try to see if I can remember who that is. So I don't know about the three Georgia Bulldogs.
I know that's
Both at linebacker. Damn. Who are the Georgia Bulldog linebackers that are out like that?
I don't even know the strong safety school.
So there's only one D tackle that I can think of from Vanderbilt, and that's Adam Butler. And he plays for the Raiders. So I'm gonna go with the Raiders. That's all I can think of. I can't think of any other decent Vanderbilt D tackles.
It is the Raiders, and Max Crosby is the one next to him, Eastern Michigan.
Damn, that's crazy how the mutant white boys always crazy mutant white boys always go to like a random ass school. I don't know. I can't even think off the top of my head.
Shout out to Sleeper for doing another great guess the NFL defense. And we got something for you guys as we sum up the NFL. I know in the past we've done this post before, but this is the 2026 NFL strength of schedule based on Vegas forecasted win totals. So you can see right here, Warren Sharp put on his X account all 32 teams in camps today, and that post was made on July 28th. So they updated this list. So the 5 easiest strength of schedules, you have the Lions, Bengals, Saints, and Jets. And then you have the Ravens rounding out your top 5. And your top 5 hardest, you have the Cardinals, Dolphins, Panthers, Commanders, and Cowboys. No surprise, the Saints are in the top 5 easiest with the easiest easiest division in football, the NFC South. And no surprise, the Cardinals are in the hardest being in the NFC West, the toughest conference in football. But Jags, you see James right in the middle of the pack at 18 based off the Vegas forecasted win totals. So man, the Panthers, the Rams got it rough, the Bears have it rough, the Buccaneers as well. You see a lot of NFC teams have that hard schedule on that back half for sure. So just want to put this out there for the 2026 NFL strength of schedule based off of Vegas's forecasted win totals for this upcoming season. Any bets, James? Any futures you're going to be putting in for this NFL season?
I'm betting the over on the Jags.
What is it, like 10.5 or something?
I believe it. No, I think it was less than that because they don't have us winning the division. Unless something change. Let me go before I start guaranteeing money. They may be trying to trap me. Damn, I haven't been betting enough. Hard Rock making me re-enter the app. All right. Still gotta put my futures in for FSU too. Also, if you bet NFL preseason, I just want you to know, from somebody who cares about you, you've got a problem. Like, don't bet that, because you don't even know how long the starters are gonna play. Wow, Arizona Cardinals, like, if you go over 4.5, I'm betting that, dog. Arizona Cardinals, they don't think they're gonna win 5 games. It's plus 130. All right, Jacksonville Jaguars. Oh yeah. So I don't like this. Over 8.5 is minus 140, right? If they go under 8.5, you get plus 115. So, like, when you bet that, you know that there's a possibility you're wrong, right? For the projected wins. I'm gonna do that. Let me see if I can parlay this, because I believe in Arizona. Nah, they won't let me parlay that. That sucks. But yeah, I'm going with the Jags. I'm going Jags over 8.5. I think they're at least 9. Let me see what they have alternate lines too. I could do 10 wins at plus 120. If I put 100 on that, I don't know if I want to sit around and wait that long for that kind of bread to come in. But yeah.
Sorry about that. Had some technical difficulties on my end trying to get this video up for you guys, because I did not want you guys to miss our Big Games B.S. section for today. We got a good one that I think will make a lot of people hungry as we approach lunchtime coming up here soon. James, I know burgers have been a topic of the summer, as it always is with cookout season, but we got a crazy, I guess, Italian fusion barbecue cookout food right here, because we got a wild one for you today for our BS or Bussin' Food Review segment. This is your first time at the BS or Bussin' Food Review segment. Please spam in the chat BS if you think the food item looks trash, or bussin' if you would like a piece of that food item on the screen. So today we got the garlic bread smash burgers for you guys. So let's take a look at these garlic bread smash burgers. And like I said, spam in the chat BS or bussin'.
Put the bun in reverse. They want that garlic to hit you first. Even so, I'm all in. You had me at one. It's a burger. You didn't do anything to take away from the burger. It looks delicious, so I'm going with it.
Definitely a crazy food combination that I haven't seen, but definitely looks like it would be bussin'. But I know that's all I had on my end. James, anything I did not cover you wanted to mention as we bring in Friday's show, as we bring in the weekend for everybody?
I mean, here's what I want people to realize. I saw the dumbest Facebook post about a month ago. We're saying we don't need more book bag drops. We need clothes. Like, you can say you need something else and not shit on things. Like, people need this stuff. Like school supplies are expensive. I'm tell you what, like the only reason I know is because I gotta buy them. There are a plethora of things if you're in the Jacksonville area. I'm sure if you're in the Tallahassee area that you can go to. I'm probably finna take my black ass to a couple people, and I'm going to go get me some food if they got it. And I'm going to go get some supplies and really just show up to volunteer if you can, man. I think people don't understand how like we're looking at social media and we're not looking at statistics or numbers or real life. So people are hurting. Don't be that person that's hurting. If you can, and if you're good, please donate to help a person in need. $36 gets a book bag for my cause. I really appreciate everybody here. Would like to get these numbers up. Please make sure you support the show and the channel. I definitely appreciate everybody for chopping it up with me. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Go step out, go do something because 2 Mondays, we are 2 Mondays away from school starting. And once that starts, man, yeah, I cannot wait. I don't want to be doing all the other stuff, but like Kai I love my baby boy to death, but he is bored. And there's no camp. It's like a 2-week span when there are no camps and there are no school. But that's when football gets heavy. So it's not like we can just leave and go on vacation somewhere. So he's just got to sit around in the house all day. And he can't walk the dog yet by himself. So I can't even find real manual labor for him to do. So also my dog is getting on my nerves. I wish he'd go back to his other family for a little bit. So but yeah, all that being said, appreciate everybody for chopping it up with me. We'll see you guys next time.